Hello, and welcome. Today is a little different. Today I'll actually be reading a story provided by a viewer here on TikTok named Juliana Shelley. She gave me 2 stories about life experiences she's had with the paranormal. My name is Juliana, and I have 2 stories. They are both kind of short, so I figured I would share both. The first one happened when I was 5 or 6. To give some background, my whole family on my dad's side has seen some sort of paranormal activity. From my younger cousin seeing what he called clowns in his closet, to my dad seeing a man in all white sitting on top of a tombstone in a graveyard after playing with the Ouija board, to my older cousin waking up being choked by a shadow figure, as well as my uncle being saved by an angel, my gram told me. And a lot of other things I could go into, but won't, simply because there were too many occurrences to mention them all. My dad believes our whole family is cursed because of our ancestors, which again could be its own story, but back to my story. This took place in our old house by a baseball field in Pennsylvania. I couldn't sleep, so I asked my parents if I could sleep with them, and they agreed. I remember tossing and turning, and for some reason, I just didn't feel right at the time. It wasn't really a sick feeling. It was more of me just feeling an overwhelming amount of anxiety, like the air was thick and heavy, and both my parents were asleep. I tried waking them, but they didn't. And then I looked over to the window at the head of the bed and felt like the fog had lifted. In the window, I saw a little girl about my age, maybe a year or so younger, but for some reason it felt like she wasn't going to hurt me. But I was still scared. This happened multiple times, maybe for a year or 2. She would just stare at me whenever I slept with my parents. Then one night she talked to me. She sounded like a little girl. Then she said, "Do you want to go play?" I ignored her and went to sleep. The next morning I told my parents, and they told me her name was Sarah, and she was a family friend's daughter who had gotten run over by a tractor trailer. After I told my parents, I never saw her again, but the name Sarah still gives me chills and reminds me of her even though it happened so long ago. Now my second story ran right from my last. I was about 10 and had a nightmare. I was waiting at a Shell gas station to cross the road with an older boy. I remember having blonde hair and pink sandals. I held the older boy's hand, and we were crossing the street. My sandal fell off, so I went to get it. I guess I wasn't paying attention because I let go of the boy's hand to run back to get it, and the last thing I remember was hearing a loud noise, seeing giant tires, then the sky, and then I woke up. A few years ago I told my dad the story, and then he told me Sarah had an older brother, and she was in the exact same outfit when she got hit, and she didn't die right away when she flew into the guardrail. But the craziest part is that when I went by the exact gas station, and I know because I immediately thought of my nightmare, and in the middle of the road was a pink sandal. That memory will always stick with me. It was like I saw a memory or something. I have also had multiple ghost experiences where I saw a past family, or someone our family knew, had died.